Alright, so we covered gun touching, so now we're going to cover gun off of the body, right? So again, generalized concepts and theories, I'm just not actually physically driving the gun into him. So it's some type of a distance. Obviously that distance has to be close enough to be able to grab on the fucking gun, right? So if it's like, I'm pointing the gun at him from like 10 or 20 feet away, that's not a thing, right? You either have to use your words and manipulation or whatever they want to get closer to them, or if you truly believe they're going to shoot you up on dash, then you need to be ducking for cover, making beelines for cover, and stuff like that. So we're gonna backtrack, right? We're not gonna start at the beginning. We're gonna start at the end. Where people usually fuck this up is that they believe, or at least in the crop world, they believe that once they get this cupping technique right, and they go through and throw their magic front kick, that the gun is just like the takeaway is just gonna magically happen, right? It's all part of the technique. I get my hand on, I get my other hand on, boom, I kick, and then as I come down, it's this like big, awesome driving disarm. But the reality of it is they start pulling, and that's not fucking real, right? So we're going to start with the control, so that if I learn to get into this position and I fuck everything else up and I have to now get you a fight, then so be it, I'm going to fight you. So you're going to go right hand-ish. We'll see with my two hips today. You guys might have to go, well, you're going to be left gun person anyway, so it's going to be a left hand. So the same side hand, so the gun's in the right hand, my far side hand or same side hand, right? His right hand, my right hand, gets the one of the gun. So I'm going to have the webbing of my thumb starting in the trigger guard, and I'm going to get a nice 5-finger grip on it. So we're giving you the perfect position. Right? You might not get to the perfect position, but we're going to give it to you to learn. So I have a good position here. Once I have that, I'm pushing and driving away. I'm constantly pushing and driving away. My other hand goes underneath my wrist. Doesn't come around. Goes underneath my other wrist, palm towards the ceiling, and it wraps the back of the gun. Okay? So the back will slide back to here. I'm going to pull my elbow to my hip, right? So I'm constantly driving with the hand that gets there first, and I'm constantly pulling with the hand that got there second. And so this is, and again, it's a perfect position, right? You're probably not going to get the perfect position. This is what we want. This is where we get our best control. I'm constantly pushing with the right, constantly pulling with the left, and my elbows are in contact with my ribs, so that when I start to fight, I can use my body, my hips, essentially to control that, and I'm not out here with my arm. Okay? That was like a sweet thing. So I go in, I get a hold of the gun, I'm pressing and driving, my other hand gets in, and it's pulling it in tight to my body. And then from here, I have my feet set the way that I want them, right? Right leg is back, left leg is forward. If I'm fighting on the right side, it's going to be opposite to my hips today, right? But as I get into this position, I hold. This is our control. We're just going to wrestle over control, 50-60%. So I'm just going to hold this position, and he's going to fight over his gun. One hand and two hand, whatever it is, and just wherever he goes, you can move your feet. Yeah. Wherever he goes, I'm just following and staying in control the best way that I possibly can. The concept and the idea being, if I'm constantly pushing with the right and I lock back with the left, or again, depending on what side it is, but the first hand that gets there here, I can stay on the other side of the line of fire. Even if he starts dominating the position, I know where the line of fire is. So I'm not fighting like muscle to muscle, strength to strength. I'm fighting just basic concept. There's a line of fire, don't go in front of the fucking line of fire. It's kind of like rule number 1. And then you start backtracking to do the rest of that. So we're going to get the perfect grip, right? Good solid position here, good solid position here. I'm pulling this into my hip, I'm holding. And then again, he can use two hands if he wants. He can muscle and move his feet all at once. All I'm learning to do is stay on the other side of it. If he starts pushing, swinging, pulling, doing whatever the hell he wants, I just have to make sure my body stays on the outside of it the whole entire time. So this is just basic little dummy drill to learn the control and the grip. Then we will backtrack it to how do we get there properly, and then what the fuck happens afterwards. Does that sound good? Any questions? Like gimps, just be careful.
Yeah.
Okay? Alright, let's go. First person in, tussle around. I will tell you guys when to switch, but this shouldn't be like 500 miles an hour, so you shouldn't be completely exhausted by the time I tell you to switch. Let's go. Alright, so, does this make sense? Okay. It is super important that when you're into this, you don't backtrack and pull with both. If I pull with both, I pull the line of fire right on me, right? So again, it's a learned skill, right? Grabbing onto a gun is not like, oh, it's just magic, right? There's a whole can of self-defense theory is do what's intuitive. Well, grabbing onto a gun is intuitive, right? So it is a learned skill, but I'm increasing my odds of keeping the line of fire off of me if I'm constantly pushing on the line of fire and pulling on the back of the gun. And then I can root my body behind it. And then just based off wrestling principles, you start getting heavy with the head, and now I can start taking away that. Okay? Boom! So, As we get it. Now. Sounds so
sexual.
So, as we're doing this, right? The takeaway, as commonly thought, is like this big hand motion. But it's not. It's not the way I want you to think about it. It's a basic kind of theory as I square my hips up, right? If you think about basic fight theory, I keep them inside of my elbows at all times. I want to move outside of his elbows and keep them inside of my elbows, right? Well, it's the same basic idea. If I have control of the gun out here, I want to take my body and I want to square up back to him. And just that motion of squaring up back to him, using my hips, using my entire body, creates the leverage on the arm, or on the hand, in this case, right? That doesn't mean, that's all we're doing with here. It doesn't mean that I can't, if I'm stronger, muscle it and drive it with my hands, but I don't want to have to think that way. Because if we get into a wrestling match where I'm kind of here and I'm controlling, I don't want to be thinking from this position, big twisting step out motion that I can fuck up. I want to be thinking basic wrestling principles, square back up to him, and as I'm squaring back up to him, I end up with a gun. Okay? Ryan Hooper put it in a really cool way, which was, I start pushing the line of fire away from me, and I continue pushing the line of fire away from me until eventually the idea being it points as far away from me as possible, which is going to end up pointing again. So however you think about that, right? Basic fight concept and theory, turn your hips and your shoulders square to your opponent, or the idea of I drive the line of fire away and it turns all the way back towards my bad guy. How many of you know, right? So what you guys are going to do is you're going to start tussling over the gun, right? I get into my perfect grip scenario, everything pulled in, maybe I'm hitting with the head, and then from here, I'm just using my hips and my body to pull through that motion to get control of it, okay? So you're not using your arms and your hands to make the motion, you're using your body, okay? Tussle for 5 or so seconds, nothing intense, and then turn, take the body with control, and then obviously I possess the gun now, which means all down, point it over. Yeah? Let's go! So, all right. So now let's look at entry into this, realistic entry into this, right? So we've got the gun on me. And again, for right now, for training purposes, I'm not worried about exactly where it's at, all that kind of stuff. It's a basic concept. I want to get my hands on the gun. So as I go into this, the theory and the concept and the idea behind it is, I go, what's referred to often in the Krav Maga system as a toy soldier, right? So like, I don't have any other bending, moving, or anything. It's the old kind of dolls that literally the arm just moves straight up and straight down. So my hands are here. Unrealistic and unnatural to have your hands down here staring at some motherfucker with a gun, right? So I'm here, oh shit, there's a gun, right? So I want to be in point A to point B, straight line, going to wherever that gun is, okay? Once I get there, the idea is I'm pulling my shoulders out of place and leave my body as I'm pushing the gun, not just sideways, but also forward. We assume he's going to do something to retain the weapon. If I grab onto his gun, we assume he's going to step back or push forward in some form of fashion. I'm going to assume he's going to take some kind of movement backward, right? I'm going to cover the distance when I go into that. So I want to always be moving toward him to take away his thing. I don't want to get a tug of war over a gun. So if I get into this and I grab onto the gun and he steps back and I pull and keep my place, I'll pull on fire too. It's not good. So I get my hand on the gun right from here. Oh shit. Holy fuck, it's a gun. Don't look at the gun. It's a fucking gun that you put in my face. Holy fuck, right? So as I go into it, my hands are up, I get a hold of the gun and I'm pressing and I'm already starting to lean. Now as soon as possible, I want 2 hands on the weapon. We used to teach this with the whole idea of bang, this came all the way in, and bang, that went that way. In a perfect world, that's awesome. I think it's a little unreasonable to think that you're gonna go into like some judo-y grabby position in there. So it's probably going to be more along the lines of when I get my one hand in there, the other hand is kind of tracing right back behind me. Boom, boom, and I'm getting into that. What matters is it comes down here. So we're going to start in this position. We're going to go slow to start, Hollywood, right? Hands are here. Oh shit. I'm going straight to the gun, 2 hands on the weapon. I get good solid control. And now what do I need to do? I need to start orienting my hip angle to be able to take the gun away and control. That's all. It's just 1 for 1, and I would hold on to the weapon the same exact way. I put it out in front of him, slow motion, fucking Hollywood, grab, grab, grab. Now, what did you make notice that he did? If I move both hands at the same exact time, and they blast onto the gun at the same exact time, I'm going to be just shot while holding onto a gun with 2 hands, right? So if he points the gun at me, and this is my response, I'm going to get shot with a gun that I just happen to be holding on to, right? So I have to push the gun away first. It has to be a pop. It has to be that first. Right? I've got to get it going that direction first. If I move both hands simultaneously clapping, I've heard people refer to it as clapping my hands together. That's fine, but one motherfucking hand's got to get there first, and then you can clap your hands together, right? So he's got the gun pointed at me. Oh shit! I get my other hand in there. Now that I've got it, I'm heavy leverage and pressure, then turn around. We'll go one for one. You go there, you go there, you go there. All good? Let's go. It should be slow, but it should be painful. Unnecessary bubble. Okay. Again, traditionally speaking, as far as cupping offense goes, there's this big kind of front kick or realistically knee or front kick, whatever it is. Depends on how much stage you have in the. And it's not the end of the world. It's not necessarily wrong. The concept and idea being, as I'm stepping in, there's this big kick. The problem is, if he is like putting a hand out to kind of check me and pull away, or doing any type of basic retention, and I'm back here, if that doesn't happen, I'm on the wrong end of wrestling and controlling a weapon in an arm, right? It kind of goes into it. So, as much as I want to be thinking, yeah, I want to hit him and kind of fuck with his plan a little bit, I also need to respect the control of the position of the wrestling aspect, right? As I go into it, and I get my hands on that weapon, I need to be taking space away. I'm assuming he's going to fight. I'm assuming he's going to try to pull his gun back. I'm assuming his other arm's going to come and play out, that kind of shit. If he doesn't already have two hands on him. So I need to take that space away. If he checks me and I have good control of his arms out here, pushing, if I need to hit from here and I feel like I have a balance, okay, I can. But I'd rather know I have good control over the weapon than get semi-control over the weapon, lose it with the footwork of the step and the kick, and then be shit out of luck on the wrong end of the gun, right? So I'd rather get my control, right? I'm into here, boom, I get a hold of the gun, I'm covering, and now I can headbutt. I can knee based off what knee feels comfortable, and now as I'm going into it, I can be wrestling, clearing, and do whatever I have to do from there. So, get into the position, own it, and then find spaces for front kicks, knees, headbutts, whatever. 2, 3, 4, fit them in there, they're wrestling around with you. Bad guys, you can loosely start pushing on and fucking with them, right? Grab their head, try to control the gun a little better, use the legs, kind of open up things, and then turn and take. But control's what matters. Once you get line of fire off of you, don't ever let line of fire cover back on. Make sense? Questions? Last thing to talk about, then we'll kind of break this into some scenarios and some more stress drills and stuff. So, once I get the gun, right, I've gone in, oh shit, got a hold of it, I feel like I've got my control, right, I've taken the gun, you know, the fight's not over. I don't take the gun and go like, right? Come on. Yeah, you do. So we're in there, we're fighting. Ooh, I popped the gun out. Okay? Now he's lost all his power. He's going to be fucking pissed. He want to fight. Right? So I have to understand that this turns into wrestling and fighting still over a gun. You don't fucking, you know, tap, rack, and assume that it's going to shoot. None of that shit. You got to hold the gun. You need to understand, like, best practices of striking, right? I can punch just like normal as long as the line of fire is still out. I can turn the line of fire towards him. I can be hitting, right? Tucking this in, again, once again, make sure the line of fire stays out, right? Whatever you do, you never hit bottom of the mag well. Generally speaking, that points the gun back at you. If you happen to be holding the gun in your grip, you never hit with the gun sideways. That's going to bend it and roll it out of your hand, right? So I get into these positions, I just understand angles when I'm going to hit. Even hitting like this is awesome, where I'm burying the muzzle into his face. Even hitting like this can drive the gun out of my hand. Now, if I'm dominating the fight, maybe I don't give a fuck, right? I bury the muzzle into his face, bang, and the gun pops out. If he wants to try to bend over and grab the gun, fucking thumbs up, and I start hitting from there, that's fine. But just understand you have a fight on your hands. If he's got this gun, right, and I just got here, boom, and I took this away, and now he shoots down on me, I've got to worry about fucking wrestling positioning, right, while also controlling the day. So I don't want you guys doing wrestling just yet, we'll do that at the end of it, but I want you, once you get this gun, you got to be hitting, clearing, and making space while actually striking to get there. Does that make sense? So 1 for 1, back and forth, from the top, the whole entire way through, but when you take that gun, get into the fight and finish the fight. 3, 4, 5 more combatant. Let's go. So now we're just gonna add more variables in the mix, right? More of an uncooperative opponent, what happens afterward. So I get a hold of the gun. Maybe I'm making my strikes, whatever, I turn, I clear, I get in. First thing he's gonna do is shoot from my hip. Okay, so I've gotta be able to get in that position. Now look, traditionally speaking, right? Hands are up, he shoots, we get the arms up, we get the hips out, try to take our angle and get there. However, if my hands are down when that happens, okay, I still need to be thinking about sprawling. I still need to get my hips back, yes, but I don't want to overcome my hips back so much that I'm not affecting him. Really, I want to get my chest heavy. So as he goes to shoot, I take that out. I need to be on top, weight on top of him, chest heavy. Right? It's probably not going to easily collapse like Scott. I'm just super really good at this, and Scott's not. As you get into it, but you get the idea, like I have to have forward pressure. If I just go hips back, not saying it's the end of the world, but if I just go hips back, I'm off balance with my hands down below, right? So he goes in, if my hands get caught low, so be it, but I need to be heavy chest. And now I need to be working my hands up, and I need to be worrying about the gun in the same aspect. Nobody can tell you, like, with absolute certainty, that it makes sense to hold and control the gun forever, or it makes sense to chuck the gun or whatever. It's odds, it's gambling, right? If I chuck the gun and he's got a buddy, fuck my life, right? If I hold on to the gun and I don't wrestle really well now, that fucking sucks too, right? So if it doesn't feel right and you feel like you're losing position, you might just want to bail on the fucking gun and worry about the one-on-one fight that you're getting into, right? And take your chances on that side, but you can't really fight, you can't take too much otherwise. But what he's gonna do is he's gonna shoot in. If my hands happen to get up, that's fine, they get up over top. If not, I'm still like whizzing down. That arm is still in there and I'm still working for positions and I'm working underhook and I'm worried about the gun. I don't want him to get control of it. That make sense? We're shooting in on him. Cool? Let's go. Okay. Now, bad guys, once the gun gets taken away, your entire, which again is very realistic, your entire focus is getting the gun back. No matter what. So you're not reaching to tackle them as much as reaching to try to get your gun back, right? So we get into this same, boom, I'm in here, when I take the gun, it breaks in his hand. He's going for that gun. I'm trying to hit him, right? He's still going for the gun, going for the gun the whole time, right? So I have to be able to, arm stop, brace, hit. Does it make sense to get rid of the gun? Does it make sense to hold on to the gun, whatever the fuck it is, right? In those aspects. Their mind is in there. Safety. I'm hitting, and he's moving to the gun. Bad things can happen. So just be very cautious about mimicking, walking through your strikes. Let's do this 50, 60%. Doesn't have to be 100% in any way, shape, or form, right? But he's obsessed. He's fixated on the object of power that he's got. Make sense? Let's go. Last piece of the puzzle. All right? Again, bad guys, you can lunge for the gun, you can lunge for the hips, you can do whatever you want afterwards, as long as you're continuing to be uncooperative, right? Continuing to be uncooperative. Here's the difference. When I go in as the bad guy now, I'm not a stationary bad guy, right? Waiting to get taken. So here are your options, okay? I can come up and shove, right? We're not doing the bitch slap today. But I can come up and shove, I can kind of hit him a little bit as far as the hand goes, right? All while keeping the gun kind of out of play. From here, I might put it out, I might take it back, shove him again, keep distance, move into him, right? And so I'm making him do decision making. When can I get a hold of the gun? Right? Also getting shoved around the whole time. Hey man, look, what do you want? You want money? All that stuff. I want my hands up, I want my hands active, I want my mouth moving. That way it's not a shock when I go to move. Right? So you're playing with it. However, because of the drill and the technique we are focusing on today, I do at some point in time need to shed light on opportunities where he can't get a hold of the gun. That does not mean this. It just means that it's within arm's reach and off of my body, right? So it's not physically touching per se, but it's also not physically touching my body. It's off of my body and off of his body within arm's reach. That make sense? Shoving each other around, yelling at each other, whatever you want. We'll run this out for the last 2 minutes of class, and then we are done. Let's go. Hey. 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 Hey.
like, I don't know. Are you ready to go into this? What am I risking?